And I know we were all heartbroken about our own shows. I know Reed will never recover from the Dynasty cancellation. Sabrina, the Batwoman at me with Legends. But if any of them ever had a pickup or a like follow up, I feel like Legends with a movie would be the easiest one to make happen. Not just because of the Warner Brothers connection, but just that show would work as like a wrap up movie. And considering we're talking about the same network that did Bebo Saves Christmas just last season, it just feels like a no brainer to do it at some point. So I just hope that before the book is fully closed on Legends of Tomorrow, that happens.
I hope so. I'm gonna say, okay, so y'all, we're entering into like the green table talk discussion right now, and that means that we need to be honest and real about the future of a lot of these CW shows that got canceled. I'm gonna speak from the I perspective here. I think the show with the best shot of getting a continuation, and I'm not saying a season. I think if you want your show to move forward, it's gonna have to come in a TV movie, and that is Legends of Tomorrow, like Michael mentioned, because of the public outcry, because of the cliffhanger, because there's already precedents for a Legends of Tomorrow esque movie on the CW, even though it was animated and it was about Bebo, it still exists. Um, I think that is the CW show with the best path forward. Second would be Batwoman, but that is second by there's a lot of distance between Legends of Tomorrow and Batwoman for me when it comes to whether or not the hashtag Save Batwoman movement is going to be able to push forward and get a continuation of any kind. Again, movie is the best option. As Michael mentioned earlier, they did wrap season 3 in a way that while it's not satisfying for fans because they wanted a season 4, it's satisfying when it comes to the storytelling. Now, I do want to see Megan Tandy as Catwoman. And they did tease that that would have happened in season 4. So if we had a Batwoman movie, I'd be all for it. I would still hashtag save Batwoman my behind off to get a movie. I just think that a lot of the energy if you're is going to be pushed into Legends of Tomorrow, and that's where it should be.
I agree with you. I think these two shows have the best path forward, and I don't want to confuse that with just because they were canceled together and before the rest of them, but I think just the kind of shows that they are and the kind of universe that they're a part of, there's doors to bring these characters back. There's obviously a lot more demand. Um, and even if they do come back, it's probably not going to be this year, probably not going to be next year, but there's a will, there's a way. Like we're in the reboot revival era, and like give it 5 years and maybe it happens. Give it 2 years, maybe it happens. But for the rest of them, as much as we know now that the CW probably didn't want to cancel the bulk of its content, like let's be honest, like that's not they didn't wake up on Thursday, May 12th, and we're like, let's just cancel 9 shows today. Um, I just don't think that to that end you cancel 9 shows and then any of them have a chance of coming back. That's my perspective. I don't see that's so many shows for two production companies to shop around, and I think that if any of them were going to have some sort of future on a different platform, that would have been maybe not announced but alluded to in the cancellations, and especially today. But Mark Pedowitz didn't make any mention of WB or CBS shopping anything around. And as much as that stings for like fans of shows like Charmed and Dynasty, which probably will get their proper endings and as well as legacies, um, I mean it sucks, but like in for me, like you guys know I love Dynasty. Sandy says not Dynasty. I agree with you. I'm so sad, but I was like ready. I was prepared every season because as much as I knew that that Netflix deal was saving the show and the international audience was saving the show, you still see the lowest rated show on the network and you see the tweets are like, how is the show still on the air? And like every time they had a cast change, people were like, the show's ridiculous, get it off the air. And it just felt like it was living on borrowed time, right? Like that's just how it felt when the show is the lowest rated on the network. So I was thankful for every season and I was just like prepared. And I don't think I have it in me to try to bring it back. Like I will hold on to these next 11, 10-ish weeks and see what they have planned for the end. And as I said before, like you never know, like 5 years they could somehow come back for like some reason. Who knows? You never know.
Who don't, and so I know I have seen some like fan campaigns for most of the shows. And if you're trying to shop it like to a different network, if you're like adding the handles of like ABC, NBC, Fox, anything else, they're not picking up those shows. One of the downsides of the CW's model is that there's no proven metric that these shows would do well on the other broadcast networks. I mean, that's the whole point of why they moved a lot of like they did not shop those shows to those networks. They put them on the CW because again, syndication farm, right? So a lot of these shows wouldn't have survived elsewhere. Now, if you're trying to shop with them, like you're trying to get a streamer to pay attention, the reason why the Shape Legends of Tomorrow and Save Batwoman campaigns are focusing on HBO Max is because that is likely where they'd be able to go. The like the Netflix, the CW shows that go straight to Netflix after their season finales air, in this case, series finales air.
All canceled.
Um, yeah,
And that
they're
tells
canceled.
us something.
Well, they're canceled, and it's that they would not like another streamer's not gonna pick them up. So even
Because
if you,
it's not gonna, the basis of all of this, as we're learning, is money, and someone's not gonna, they're like, the money's not gonna be made. Do you know what I mean? Does that make
yeah,
sense? Like the money's no longer gonna be made. That's why these were canceled. That's why they're not probably gonna be saved.